Mame Faraj say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Pratt?
Well, unfortunately, people like Nigel Faraj and the leaders of his Reform UK and the leader of the Conservative Party in the UK are so dangerously ignorant and confused that it is frightening. You see, people like these would end up destroying the United Kingdom much faster than any nuclear weapon will. Can you imagine the UK without African doctors and nurses? Can you just imagine the UK without African doctors and nurses? Why? They are threatening to deny visas. Is the UK heaven? The UK is not heaven. Why? Would we die if we don't go to the UK? No. But if they don't come here, they will die. That's the difference. Why? If Africa decides to cut off trade with the United Kingdom, it cannot survive. It will die. You understand? Why? Are we the only people who take visas? When we take visas to visit the UK, we take visas to go and clean their dirty cities. When we take visas to go and treat their sick, their aging, and their dying people. When we take visas, we go there to go and drive their taxis. When we take visas, we go there and operate their restaurants. When we take visas, we go there and help them to revamp their economies. When they take visas, they come here and carry our gold, our bauxite, our diamond, our manganese, and so on. When they take visas and they come here, they fatten the pockets of those who sit in the boardrooms in the colonial metropolis. That is what happens. So who suffers? Who suffers if we decide that no, we are not going to Britain, they shouldn't come here too? Who will suffer? So look, it is ignorance and confusion which is consuming them. And it's amazing that after all these years of strident exploitation, they exploited us to build their institutions and so on, they've ended up with leaders like this. Can you imagine? The UK has ended up with leaders like this. Somebody like Nigel Faraj is actually dreaming about becoming Prime Minister of the UK. God save the UK. If this man should become Prime Minister of the UK would die. He's so confused. He's actually foolish to the extreme. He's foolish to the extreme. These are the leaders that Britain, which once ruled the waves, has today. Oh, poor Britain. We should pity them. Poor Britain. And he's sitting in London, throwing his little weight about and threatening that we will not get visas. And I think we are going to cry. Because somebody like him, ignorant person like him, is saying that we won't get visas, so we will go and cry. Keep your visas and let us keep our gold and let's see who will survive. Why? Today, countries like Ghana are actually subsidizing the economy of Britain. Do you know why? Why? We spend so much money training our nurses. Money that they should have spent training nurses to mind their health institutions. They don't. We spend that money to train the nurses. And when we finish, the nurses go there to serve them. That's a subsidy to the United Kingdom. teachers. Now they are looking for teachers from Africa, especially Ghana. Who trains them? That's our subsidy to the UK economy. And he doesn't understand that. He's still taking a position of superiority. Look, we are not in 1884.
That's what he's thinking.
1884, when they met in Berlin with Otto von Bismarck, and they drew maps across Africa, their spheres of influence and so on. Those days are gone. Oh. This is the new African. We are in 2026, and we are going to struggle for every inch of our territory. We are going to struggle to build economic systems which will stop the hemorrhage. We are going to struggle to build a new Africa whose citizens will be respected everywhere, who would insist on respect. And the likes of Faraj and so on, they can go to hell. Please, go to hell. We don't care. Who is he? Some upstart who fancies himself as a future British Prime Minister. Some upstart, complete upstart. And he's sitting in London threatening Africans. He is sitting in London threatening us. My goodness. How did we even get here? For somebody like him to dream that he can threaten Africans. Him too, also. Abba. Master, we've really gone far. I mean, even just the thought that somebody like him can sit in the UK and think that, look, I can threaten Africans to abandon the cause of reparation. I will say that I will deny them visas. He has illusions. You understand? He actually thinks that Britain is heaven. Please, Britain is not heaven. If you don't know, let's tell you, no. What? And today, if you know the world, anybody who has traveled the world, if you are looking for a country to go to, a place to go to, a city to go to, where would you go? Birmingham? London? Those are villages, huge villages. My goodness. It's so annoying. The one who annoys me even the most is that Nigerian leader of the Conservative Party. You know, and sometimes when I listen to her statements, I just wonder. So this woman, when she wakes up in the morning and she looks herself in the mirror, what does she see?
White woman.
I'm sure when she looks herself in the mirror, she sees a white woman, she doesn't see herself. What? These people are joking. They don't know. They are joking.
They don't know what time it is.
They don't know what time it is, you know, and they are joking, threatening us. What? I would have wished that some more enlightened, more better educated, you know, person would have, you know, made those remarks. But look at the guy who is making the remarks. You know his closest political ally? Boris Johnson. He and Boris Johnson led the Brexit campaign. And then after that, he broke away from the Conservative Party because he was not making any headway. In fact, everybody saw them for what they were. And he sits in London and issues a threat. His party is issuing a threat. Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. That is why this book are threatening us. This is a useless, empty threat. And we take no notice of such threats. Abba.
And you know you follow the UK politics that closely. Absorb attacks without retaliating. The citizens of those Arab countries should speak against US presence and tell them to leave. If Iran attacks them after that, it will be a different story. As it stands now, Iran has every right to self-defense against US-backed aggression. Supporting Iran is not about religion. It is about standing with justice and speaking the truth from the heart. Well, the next discussion has to do with, okay. So in the UK has been one of the places where we've had a couple of reactions. The leader of the opposition, Kemi Badenoch, was one of those who came out first to say that the UK should not have absented from voting on the issue of slavery as a grievous crime against humanity. They should have voted against it, not absented from voting. So abstained from voting actually. Now there's another party in the UK. They say if they form the next government, everyone from any of the countries that were part of the agenda that moved the motion in the UN General Assembly will not get visa to ever travel to the UK, and that's the Reform Party. Ghana has also, we have also made some. So on the positive side, we've decided to do visa-free entry for African citizens, a process that we'll be discussing over the next few weeks and months to see how it will work. But those two are the subject of discussion that we're having next. And I start with Solomon also on this.
So, honestly, I always agree with people who wants to take a position on matters, no matter how dangerous, no matter how shallow the decision is. I don't believe in people who stand in the middle. So, yes, Bednock was right. That why must the UK not take a position? Because not taking a position does not make you right. So on that score, in terms of the reparation, the motion that was moved at the UN, the United Kingdom should have voted for or against. Then we know that this is our position. So to that extent, I agree with Bednock. That was a cowardice action exhibited by the United Kingdom. So as it is, we don't even know their position. I also agree with Nigel Faraj that as a political party, when we come out for us, we will not accept or we will not issue visas to all the countries that voted for, the 123 countries. So indirectly saying that all Africans, all Caribbeans will not be allowed to go to the United Kingdom. Wouldn't you praise Faraj for it? We must by now be going to thank him and do everything possible within our power that his party will win. And make sure that he implements the policy of disallowing Africans to enter United. What is in the United Kingdom? It's a bogus country. It has always been my prayer. Honestly, anytime that I pray, because when I see the people, how many times haven't I referred you to the spectacle at the Canadian embassy, the US embassy? Anytime I see Ghanaians queuing to want to travel outside this country, I weep within me. All the bad jobs, the critical sectors of the economy of the United Kingdom are being managed by the very Africans that he, Faraj, and his people do not respect. Because we don't respect ourselves back home. When we get limited resources, instead of using it to better the loss of the people of this country and the African continent, we use it anyhow. We expend it anyhow. So you can have the likes of Faraj telling us this. That's my difficulty. Those that sweep in UK, on the streets of UK, are they British? Those that remove bomb, are they British? They practically do nothing over there. What is visa? If I wish we would start banning them from even coming to this country. Because they have been terrorizing a lot of Africans and African leaders with this visa issue. The last time it was the United States of America. We are not going to allow Ghanaians to have 6 years. We are not 5 years visa. We are not going to allow them singlet. And so what? That's your country, for Christ's sake. If I have my house, I decide who to come in, who not to come in. So you banning me from coming to your house, you have done nothing because that is your house. Whatever is pushing me to come to your house, for which reason you will have that reason to tell me not to come, I must think twice of it and then better my house, make sure I have better things in my house that will not push me to come to your house. Because we have every available resources on this continent. We are told, and it's proven to be true, that the Congo Basin alone can supply 2/3 of Africans' energy needs. 60% of the world's arable lands could be found in Africa. So what else? Somebody must convince me. Why must people not be struggling to come to Africa, but we struggling to go to them? They live with 4 different seasons. If it's not autumn, it's winter. If it's not winter, it's spring. If it's not spring, it's what, summer. When they see the sunshine, they smile. We have it in abundance here. So why must I worry myself to go there? But because of a simple matter of being disciplined back home here, managing the resources we have. Everything, when they come and we see them, we salute. They go and bring prisoners into this country, we salute them. To the extent that all the key sectors of the economy, they are controlling. Is the reason why they could be saying that. You take your mining sector, and the so-called large mining companies that you trust them, who are also in effect destroying the environment. People think these large-scale mining companies, they don't destroy the environment. Go to Obuasi, the lands are only hanging, the underground, everything, nothing is there. One day to Kevin. But they have done that damage. And where would you find those monies or resources? It's all going back to the economies. We don't mine gold in the UK like we do here, but there are more gold reserves than our Bank of Ghana, the Bank of England. You go to our oil sector, we have it. That we must enjoy from it to the extent that the Strait of Hormuz that we get discussed should ordinarily not be affecting Ghana. Why? Are we not a net exporter of crude? We have it here, for Christ's sake. That we could also turn it around, refine it, and to boost the economy. At the end of the day, it ends up in Rotterdam, it ends up in Singapore, they get refined and brought back to us, and we buy it at an expensive rate. Your telecommunications sector, a critical sector, is in the hands of the foreigners. So all the critical aspects of the economy has been taken by them. Is the reason why they see us as minnows, as underdogs, as second-class citizens to them. For which reason that Nigel Faraj can open his mouth, 32 teeth, and tell you and I that given the opportunity, and I'm praying that he will win, and he will win, and when he wins, we will force him to implement that. Because there is absolutely nothing in those countries called the UK and the Europe. They must be struggling to come here. So anytime I see or hear such news, Senator, my attitude is that it is a wake-up call for managers of the African economy. Africa has more than 1.4 billion population. Senator, we don't need any other continent to do business. The human beings in Africa is enough for us to be trading amongst ourselves. Look, this Iran-Israeli war and the US, because of that, now African countries all of a sudden are saying that they are going to do business with Dangote. Why did they have to take the war in Iran, between Iran and Israel, for you to know that when you bought your refined product from Dangote, the money will still be in Africa, and we can then join resources to further develop the continent? Nigeria goes all the way to Brazil to go and buy salt. Look at the distance from Nigeria, between Nigeria and Brazil, and the distance between Nigeria and Ghana. Why must they abandon Ghana and go to Brazil to go and buy salt? So when you are doing this, why will Faraj not open his mouth and say that I'm going to deny your visa, as though we need your visa? Look, what is the population of Ghana? We are 34 million people, for Christ's sake. How many Ghanaians are living in the UK for him to think that all of us want to be there? How many of us are living there? And even those that are living in the UK, who told them that with the bit of improvement in our local circumstances, they will not join the next available flight and come back? Because now they have the benefit of what they were told. You see, that there is a position of unknown to a position of known. Anytime you visit your brothers and sisters in the diaspora, if you interview 9 of them they have regretted relocating. But I see a lot of some young ones on TikTok deceiving the minds of those that are yet to go there. That hey, you have to come, leave the misery and come to. Who told you that where you are is heaven? You know, you don't have any happiness. The only way you entertain yourself is go and sit on TikTok and other social media and create the impression that you are living a better life when it's not true. So for me, the lives of Faraj, if you are a Ghanaian, if you are African, pray for them that they come to power and pray that they implement this no visa thing. And let's see, between Africa or Ghana, let's even use Ghana and the United Kingdom, who will survive under the circumstances.
Thank you very much. This BB Musoko, who says, let's be honest, so far America is the only country in the world who has used a nuclear weapon on another country. Do you remember Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Trump and America should give us a break. Well, a couple of comments to conclude the show. This is coming from okay, I know I see Gomwa Fete Edem Logojo, who says, okay, he wants actually me to Hegangolo is celebrating his birthday today. Please kindly wish him for me. So Hegangolo, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And this one says the Indian origin politician is threatening us with visa. Trade has become their norm. As Mugabe said, take your London and I'll keep my Zimbabwe. We are not scared of them. BB sent that. Gilbert from Cape Coast. What beat my imagination is that whatever we discuss, whatever plans we have against the whites are all discussed on TVs. Every gathering at all, we invite white people in our midst. So how do we outwit them? They will always be above us until we take them out of our affairs. That's coming from you, and thank you. This is Myron again. Myron says, you see, reparation struggle is good. Very good message to the world. Won't wash, because if they accept, their people will see them as failures. But just as Angokwesi is saying, Africa must unite and strengthen our continent. Create policies that will protect our resources, then stop selling our minerals without processing them. Just one Sesana, please. Ms. Owusu, China has been shipping weapons to Iran due to fragile talks between US and Iran. That's Honorable Ajiman in Dabwas. In fact, I have seen that story being published. Is it in Reuters? CNN too is reporting the same, that that's the intelligence they are picking up. Yes. Yes. There's a Gameli in Kumasi who says the notorious triangular slave trade ran obviously on 3 axes. Slaves taken from Africa to the Americas to work on the plantations owned by the European business tycoons. The raw materials produced sent to Europe for processing, the end product, sugar, coffee, cigarettes, etc., sent back to Africa. This completes the cycle. The equal position in this matter proves the double standard and hypocritical behavior of the white man. They don't see us as equal. Let's beware.
A small effort, we can buy UK. I tell you, that country, a small effort, but God will buy that country.
Well, this is as most African would have loved to see in their respective countries if there were enough job opportunities to make ends meet. Because our system has failed to create an enabling environment for young entrepreneurs to grow and expand. And again, look at the remuneration system in Africa. So it becomes obvious for the young ones who eagerly want to make it in life to see greener pastures abroad. We thank the NDC for recognizing, for putting things in place to curb these issues. Malcolm Kwame Pepra sent that. And thank you very much for those comments. We have to conclude the show for today. A big thank you to you for being a part of the show, for sending your comments, and of course, very importantly, for making time to listen and to watch us live on Pan-African Television, and of course live on our social media handles, Pan-African Television or YouTube Pan-African Television on Facebook. We are also grateful to those of you who listen to us on radio via Radio Gold 90.5 FM, and also via the many other radio stations that are currently tuning to us. A big thank you to all of you. A big thank you to Kwame Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is General Secretary of Socialist Movement of Ghana. And every time I have the opportunity of walking into public, meeting people, you get people who speak to you about the kind of impact it's made in our politics, in the way they see our politics and the way they think. So it's always a pleasure having him on our platform every Saturday morning. A big thank you to Solomon Owusu, the rising star. I think you are the star. of Ghanaian politics.
They are the power. We are the opposition. We are Mr. Pratt. Opposition.
Who is the director of communications of the United Party, and of course, pleasure to see Idris Saleh for protocol this morning. He is a member of the MPP's communication team. And last, of course, but by no measure the least, Dr. Mark Oliver Kevo. He is Director General of NITA and also the NDC's regional chairman in the Eastern region. Well, a big thank you to all of you. Happy birthday to Mr. Stan Dogbe, who is Deputy Chief of Staff. He turns 50 today. He's 50 years old today.
Can you send a message?
What is the message?
But you know the message you have to send to staff.
You can't just come and announce just like that. Millions of people announcing birthday without any action will be resistant with the last birthday.
Tell him that at least Bobby Taji will be back.
Yeah, okay. That message, I think the message is very clear. Bobby Taji will help. And
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.